Wow, state regime media known as Fox is collapsing live on air. The Fox message about the shutdown is like blowing up in its face. People aren't buying what it's selling. People aren't buying what Donald Trump is selling. So let me show you what state regime media is doing. They're bringing on like MAGA Republican Senator Ron Johnson to say, you know, the biggest threats to democracy right now that we're facing, it's Obama and Biden. This is what they're doing right now as the government's in a shutdown, blaming Obama and Biden for real. Here, watch this.
This doesn't surprise me. It should shock, it should outrage every American. Quite honestly, by now, it should be obvious to every American that it's not the Republicans that are a threat to our democracy. It's President Obama, it's President Biden, it's the radical leftists that have served and support them. This is outrageous.
Then they bring on Sean Duffy, the transportation secretary, and he goes, the real issue we have to deal with right now, it's marijuana. We cannot be legalizing marijuana. This is a major problem right now. This is, again, what they're talking about on Fox. Even the hosts are like, what are we doing here? Why do we have Sean Duffy on here? Play this clip.
Here's the problem. With alcohol, I can look at Brian, I can smell Brian if he's been drinking in the car. There's telltale signs. And then I can get my breathalyzer. Yeah. Right. And then I can take a blood test later. It's hard with marijuana. We don't have the systems in place to tell if you were smoking marijuana before you got in the car. So the systems aren't there at a time when culture is pushing and celebrating the use of marijuana. We're not talking about the risks. We lose 42,000 people on the roads every year. But way too many.
So do you think that we should legalize it? That's where the president's thinking about changing its ranking, its schedule. I think it would be a huge mistake.
Listen, I understand.
He's getting a lot of pressure to do it.
I understand he's getting pressure. Listen, I've got 9 kids. I see what these drugs do. I'm not a supporter of legalizing it. And again, I was a prosecutor. We didn't send people to prison for a 1/4 ounce bag or an 1/8 ounce bag of marijuana. They got a city citation. They're not going to prison for this. But to legalize it and to say it's okay for our kids and our young people to smoke it, and it's good for them, and they get behind cars, it's dangerous. And listen, it's taking lives.
And it's addictive.
Something else that's
really addictive. And by the way, it's not the 1960s marijuana.
Right.
This is way more dangerous stuff.
Yeah.
And then they're lacing it with other materials that are incredibly dangerous.
And then they bring on Tommy Tuberville, who starts attacking the 2020 census. Yeah, the 2020 census that was done under Donald Trump. And they're like, this was the fraudulent census. Trump was the president in 2020. These people are so deranged and unhinged. Here, play this clip.
What do you know about the 2020 U.S. Census?
Well, it's all game plan, Will. The Democrats were letting illegals come in for a different count. They obviously had a census going that was all rigged. The 2020 election basically was rigged. And you just go back, look at all the numbers. Look at the job numbers that the Biden administration pushed out there. We put 400,000 or 500,000 more people in the last quarter into jobs, which was totally wrong. They lie about everything. They stretch everything. If we don't get this corrected, this country is not going to make it. It's going to be torn apart. But it's all about numbers when it comes to the census. And President Trump said he's going to redo the census, which, God help us, there's no telling what it'll end up being.
By the way, other stories from Fox during the day: spied on lawmakers? ? With former President Biden and Jack Smith. Or how about this one? GOP senators press Pam Bondi on DOJ weaponization against the GOP, as Aaron Rupar says. In a totally alternate reality land on Fox today, the DOJ is somehow being weaponized by the ghost of Joe Biden, and the real victims today are the Republicans. This is what they're trying to sell the people. So then you have Jesse Waters, one of the chief propagandists on state regime media, and he goes on this weird monologue about how Stephen Miller is a high value male and he takes risks and he's like this great male, high value. As Mike Nellis says, who is this for? Like, maybe it's for Stephen Miller. Here, play this clip.
He is a policy savant. I mean, this guy is confident. He battles CNN with grace and with class, and he provides wise counsel to the president of the United States. This is what AOC doesn't get about men. Miller is a high value man because he has power and influence. because he has vision and he's on a mission to save this republic and protect Western civilization. He speaks with confidence and flair, and he's unafraid of anything. Now, AOC may have someone that's taller like Gavin, or may someone has more distinguished characteristics like Adam Schiff, the senator, who talks like this, or someone with more wealth like Soros the Younger. But those men are not brave men. Those men did not protect the country when the country needed it. We had tests throughout the last couple of years, tests on crime, tests during COVID, and tests with immigration. And all of the men that AOC seems to value, they all failed the test, and they failed it miserably. Men who are high-value men like Stephen Miller take risks. They're brave, they're unafraid, they're confident, and they're on a mission, and they have younger wives with beautiful children. I think I just gave him like a dating recommendation.
I don't know, man. That was pretty creepy.
I love Stephen Miller. That's not clear.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons that state regime media propagandist Jesse Waters was doing that segment was the night before you had Laura Ingraham bring on Stephen Miller and made Stephen Miller respond on air live to AOC calling him a clown and a 4'10" clown who is a utter loser. And AOC is like, I cannot believe that they aired this and made him listen to what I was saying about him live. I'm literally crying right now. Here, play this clip.
Stephen, AOC you're her favorite target apparently on Instagram. Check this out.
He looks like he is angry about the fact that he's 4'10", and he looks like he is so mad that he is 4'10" that he's taking that anger out at any other population possible. Like, laugh at them. Laugh at them.
Like, laugh at them. Laugh at them. I wish I had a hoodie on. I mean, are we trying to play sorority sister as elected official? I don't know. I was at a sorority over the weekend over in Texas. I felt like I was back at the sorority house, except they had more sense. Stephen, quick response.
Well, we knew that her brain didn't work. Now we know their eyes don't work. So I mean, she is a mess, right? What a train wreck. What a train wreck.
I think you should just get a hoodie. You should just wear a hoodie from now on and respond to her in a hoodie. It should be hoodie to hoodie. Stephen,
yes,
thank you so much. Yeah, go ahead.
I think the important point is that every time she's on TV, Republican approval ratings go up, Democrat approval ratings go down. That lady is a walking nightmare.
You're about, I know you for 20 years. You're about 5'10", 11. About 5'10", yes. So 4'10", yes. I don't know what she can say. All right, Stephen, thank you very much.
So then state regime media propagandist Jesse Waters says the real issue here, he claims, is that AOC wants to sleep with Stephen Miller. Just so misogynistic and disgusting. That's what they're doing. You think AOC wants to sleep with the grotesque creature? What are you even saying? How dare you even talk about AOC like that? So weird, so gross. Here, play this clip.
Do you think that MAGA men are insulted by AOC?
No, I think AOC wants to sleep with Miller. It is so obvious, and I'm sorry, you can't have him. Miller is the best. I know him well socially, and the man is not overcompensating. Dana, I know when people are overcompensating. I know people at this table who are overcompensating. That person is me.
This episode of the MeidasTouch podcast is brought to you by Graza. Everyone knows I love to cook with my wife, and lately what's taken my food to the next level is Graza. Graza is my olive oil of choice, and it has been, by the way, since even before they came on as a sponsor. It's delicious, easy to use extra virgin olive oil at an affordable everyday price, and it's always fresh. They pick, press, and bottle all their olives in the same season. You can even see the harvest date on every bottle. Graza has not one, but 2 extra virgin olive oils to stock your kitchen. There's Sizzle, their everyday cooking oil, perfect for roasting, sauteing, or really anything you cook. And then there's Drizzle, a super punchy, flavorful finishing oil oil that's perfect for dipping bread, salad dressings, or even drizzling over ice cream. You could even choose between their squeeze bottles, which are my favorite, or glass bottles. I'm always hosting dinner parties, so quality olive oil is essential in my kitchen. With Graza, you could taste the difference in freshness compared to other brands, and I always keep both sizzle and drizzle on hand because they're not only delicious, they also look great sitting on the counter. Here's the best part. You get 10% off your first order of any olive oil on their site, but I wholeheartedly recommend the Graza Duo. That's 2 bottles of extra virgin olive oil, sizzle for cooking, and drizzle for finishing with an extra kick of bold flavor. So head to graza.co and use code Meidas to get 10% off and get to cooking your next chef quality meal. That's graza.co and use code Meidas, MEIDAS.
Then you had Laura Ingraham say, you know what the big problem right now is? And she was saying this with Ted Cruz on air. The big problem, it's these billionaires inheriting their wealth and throwing around reckless rhetoric. Yeah, like J.B. Pritzker and Gavin Newsom. That's what they say. It's everything they do is projection. Here, play this clip.
This from a man who was one of the early favorites.
Yeah.
For the Democrats' 2028 run.
Look, he's a billionaire with inherited wealth. He throws around rhetoric like it doesn't matter at all. He's not the only one. Gavin Newsom is doing the same thing. Hakeem Jeffries is doing the same thing. They demonize ICE relentlessly.
And as Edward Isaac Dovere says, Ted Cruz, on one of the people who has become a leading political opponent for Trump, on what he says makes that person not credible. Then you had Kristi Noem going on with Jesse Waters, and she's got to play the victim. And so she goes, Senator Padilla, the California senator who got attacked and thrown to the ground by DHS and ICE agents when he was attending a press conference being held by Kristi Noem. She goes, Senator Padilla attacked me. Kristi Noem says, I was attacked by Senator Padilla. These people are sick. They just make up things. They attacked me. He didn't attack you. You sent your goons to attack him. They always play the victim. Here, play this clip.
Have it on video.
Yeah, he absolutely did storm at me. Yes, I know. He absolutely did storm at me. In fact, he hit the ground and because of how he attacked me that day. So it's hard to deny the video evidence.
And here's Kristi Noem saying, you know, the problem with Portland, it's a bunch of pansies. I mean, like, the cosplay here is so ridiculous. It looks like some bad 1980s like movie of like the smokers at the bump. You know what I mean? At the high school. Yeah, you see, man, there are a bunch of pansies here, a bunch of pansies. What? Play this clip.
And that is what is shocking to me about these leftist politicians, just how they ignore the people who elected them, jeopardize their safety, and continue to disrespect our law enforcement officers. So one of the things I've been dealing with all day here in Portland is a bunch of pansies that are elected into political office who won't make a decision to keep their citizens safe.
And again, she's cosplaying right before our eyes. And I like this. Jesse Waters then made Kristi Noem listen to Governor Pritzker call her a little girl playing dress up. And Waters made her respond to, what do you make of J.B. Pritzker calling you a little girl playing dress up? Here, play this clip.
All right, Secretary, you just heard the governor call you a little girl playing dress up. What do you say to that?
He keeps throwing out insults. I wish he would just defend the people that he's responsible for. And that is what is shocking to me about these leftist politicians, just how they ignore the people who elected them, jeopardize their safety, and continue to disrespect our law enforcement officers.
She is a little girl playing dress up, a dangerous one, like the little girl playing dress up at Universal Hollywood Nights of Horror, and that horror movie, you know, the one who does like the dance thing. Anyway, I don't know. I'm not sure the reference I'm even making. Then you have Department of Homeland Security spokesperson Tricia McLaughlin, and she goes, it's utterly disgusting for Democrats and for Governor J.B. Pritzker and others to smear us and say we're racially profiling. ICE is not racially profiling. Here, play this clip.
It is totally divisive to suggest that just going on black and brown people introduces a ridiculous racial element into this. That is outrageous what this governor's saying.
It's blood boiling. It is a disgusting smear to say there's racial profiling going on. Our ICE law enforcement are targeting criminals, and they're targeting those who are in this country illegally. Race has nothing to do with it. And for him to do that upon all these attacks on our law enforcement is just despicable. We will continue, though, to surge resources to protect the public in Chicago since J.B. Pritzker refuses to do it. And might I add the fact that J.B. Pritzker refuses to walk his own streets. Secretary Noem was just down there 2 days ago. She saw the rampant violence, the rampant crime, and J.B. Pritzker needs to step up and actually do his job.
Trisha, hate to break this to you, but I think you know this, which is that the Department of Justice literally argued that they should be allowed to racially profile based on skin color and the location and where people work. And the Supreme Court said, yeah, you could racially profile now in the United States of America. That was the argument that was made. The right-wing Supreme Court blessed it and said you can do it, but you still don't own up to what you're doing. Why? Because the American people hate it. Because the American people are fed up and disgusted with your crap, with the fascism, with masked ICE agents disappearing people, with masked ICE agents walking around city streets with weapons of war being pointed indiscriminately. Maybe that's why you don't want to own what it is that you're doing. Fascism on the streets of New York. Then you have Maria Bartiromo. She brings in Senator Thune, the leader of the Republicans in the Senate. And Senator Thune's like, here's the deal. The Democrats are either just going to have to sign on to our continuing resolution, or they're going to do it the easy way or the hard way, basically. That's the only choice for them. Here, play this clip.
But there are reasonable Democrats out there who are having conversations with Republicans, and I'm hopeful those are going to yield some results. I mean, at the end of the day, all these things that they want to do and that we're talking about, we're happy to have a conversation about, but that can't happen with the government shut down. So it's open up the government, and or else. I mean, I think that's really the choice that's in front of them right now.
No, the way we do government in the United States of America, Senator Thune, is the parties are supposed to work together. When you need the votes of the other parties, and when the other party here is specifically advocating something that actually is more pressing for red states than blue states, but frankly impacts all Americans in an existential way, no matter where you are, healthcare, extending Affordable Care Act subsidies, protecting people's Medicaid, okay? Maybe that's something that you should address with people. Maybe that's the way government works, that you should be talking to the other side and come up with a deal so that Americans don't die. Speaking of, this is Rick Scott, MAGA Republican senator from Florida. Before becoming a politician, he was involved in the largest Medicare fraud in the United States history. Multiple criminal cases, civil cases. He invoked the Fifth Amendment hundreds of times, over 75 times. He invoked his Fifth Amendment. He left that company with a golden parachute, and that company admitted that it was involved in one of the largest Medicare frauds in history. It's how this fraudster made his money. Here, play this clip.
Is the Wall Street Journal right that Republicans are starting to get worried that if this all goes haywire and people's health insurance costs go up at the end of the year, Republicans could wind up being blamed?
No, healthcare costs are going up. Whatever we do on these subsidies, healthcare costs are going up. Healthcare costs are going up because of Obamacare, right? The question is going to be, are we going to subsidize everybody's healthcare? Right now, we're going to make sure, Republicans are going to make sure we have a good healthcare safety net. This doesn't change at all about the people that are on Obamacare.
But got to give a hat tip to Democratic Senator Kelly from Arizona. He was on Fox yesterday, and here's what he had to say. Play this clip.
The majority leader in the Senate, John Thune, talks about, well, we'll have conversations. We need more than conversations. We need a real negotiation. The president met with the 4 leaders of Congress about a week ago on Monday. And it didn't even seem, the feedback we got, it didn't even seem that he understood what these premium tax credits were. So the first step here is the president has to understand what's going on. And when you look around the country and you see who this affects the most, it's folks in rural areas. He won rural parts of this country in almost every state. So this affects his voters, and it should never be about that. I mean, I get that, but I think we both know that, this president pays a close attention to his base. This is going to impact them significantly.
And that did not make Donald Trump happy, that Fox appearance. And then you had Sean Duffy, as he was whining about marijuana and legalizing marijuana. Here, he basically tries to blame the Democrats for all of these shortages that are happening at the U.S. airports when we all know that it was Donald Trump and people like you, Duffy, and the MAGA Republicans that are causing the shutdown. Y'all control all branches of government. You refuse to protect people's health care. It's on you, Duffy. As California Governor Gavin Newsom writes, no air traffic controllers for 6 hours at Burbank Airport yesterday. Massive delays, flights canceled, but Sean has time to do Fox and Friends and complain about how a governor hurt his feelings. Here, play this clip.
Gavin Newsom says this to you. Thanks, Donald Trump. Burbank Airport has 0 air traffic controllers from 4:15 to 10 p.m. today because of your government shutdown. I know you guys like to spar. Do you have an answer for
This guy's unbelievable. The bottom line is, every Republican has voted to keep the government open. Actually, in the Senate, it was a bipartisan vote. It was Democrats that voted to shut down the government. And Gavin Newsom wants to blame Donald Trump, who had a clean CR. They're fighting over potential money going into Obamacare and healthcare subsidies that happen at the end of this year. Right? The reason they're shutting it down today is because illegals aren't getting health benefits today because of what Donald Trump did in the big, beautiful bill. So again, they're saying we care about what's going to happen at the end of the year, but they're shutting it down right now because they want illegals to get health care.
There you have it, folks. Let me know what you think. Fox state regime media collapsing on air. Keep me posted. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million.
Want to stay plugged in? Become a subscriber to our Substack at MeidasPlus.com. You'll get daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, ad-free episodes of our podcast, and more exclusive content only available at MeidasPlus.com.